think Nelly was a factor.
No.
But you liked Nelly.
Yeah.
So I remember I said I was going to bring you guys a part 2 from the state-bait teaser that Big Brother released to us, pending when the full show starts. But then before I kick it off, you guys remember that the show starts on Monday the 23rd of June 2023 in a matter of days, and also it's going to be starting from 10 p.m. For African Magic Urban, and then 10:30 African Magic Family, if I'm not mistaken. Now, we saw that there was a conversation with this trio that later ended not being together. So, obviously, we can now see that Suj and Nelly are now cordial. I really wished and hoped that they were going to click and be something, but then Nelly was giving a stronger energy, and he kind of gave a cool energy. He really wanted a lady he could chill, cool down with, and build something with. She wanted a guy that was, more bold and more energetic. That's just what I feel, and that was why there was the commotion that happened between the three. So we saw that during the beginning of the show, although Suj had eyes for Nelly, but then there were other guys that she was already bonding with, and around that mix was Mayor Frosh, whom was really into Nelly. He would do anything for her, but then when he saw that he could not win the battle of getting her, he now moved on to another lady. And here was Ebuka really asking, Mayor Frosh, did you really like Nelly? He said yes, he really did. And then to Nelly and Suj, what is it about it for them? And according to them, in the perspective they were coming off as, it just seems as though they're just casually cordial, nothing deep, just friends who would reach out when they can. Moving on to one of the biggest battles that is going to be expected from the show is how the dynamics of Wanni and Sean went from casual, beautiful, deep, and then what are we really doing? So, of course, we saw that the show started casually, and then over the next few weeks, we started seeing how cozy Wanni and Sean began being towards each other. Before the word love started flying in the air, only or mostly from the mouth of Wanni, then my man, my boo, and then the kisses and other things that happened probably under the, we don't need to go deep into it. But then while the show was moving on, we started noticing the heavy distortion between Wanni's energy and Sean's energy. She was giving a strong 80, 90. He was giving the barest minimum of 10, sometimes 20, sometimes less than 10. And then he also hinted to her to an extent that he had English won't finish me, that he had something probably going on the outside. I would want to just be casual with her, let him enjoy the moment. But Wanni was not having it. On the other side, Onyeka was having the eyes and the hot. She was having the hots. She was feeling the hots for Sean, and then she decided to subtly move that energy towards him. But then in the end, knowing how Wanni and her sister are about being overprotective over someone that one of them might be interested in, they blocked every nook and cranny access to Sean. Sean was the one who also indirectly gave Onyeka green lights, and all what happened. But then it boiled down to the fact that Wanni and Onyeka were not really talking. They started fighting. Even after the show, they were dragging each other online, and it became very, very messy. While Sean was standing in the middle as the innocent guy and stuff, he would come. He likes what he sees. Ladies with, full package front and back. I mean, even, I think, what's her name? Victoria had to say that everybody knows that Sean likes lady with big front and back. He laughed. I was like, he doesn't discriminate. Yes, he knows he had contributed a little bit to the issues by lying, but then he's not the core part of this issue.
You had repelling energy, and I forgive you.
The problem with Onyeka and Wanni, I lie in the middle of it, but I'm not the main issue.
Sean likes girls with big ass.
I don't discriminate.
And then another part that really caught my attention, and I really want to see how it ends up because it is very, very sad and heartbreaking. During the Big Brother Naija season 9 No Lose Guard season, we had the pair Chinne, and that is and that is Chinne, the auntie, and Ne, her niece. And you know, they've been very close from when they were young till this point. They got into the show. They're one of the pairs that were really likable, but then towards the middle to and down to the end of their stay in the show, it became very bad. They were not torn against other people, but they were torn within themselves. Chinne, the aunt, felt a little bit, she was coming off a bit jealous and a bit threatened by her niece, that her niece was getting more attention, achieving more goals in the show, while she was a little bit in the background, as though she just, you know, escorts her niece come the show. And at some point, there were times she confronted her niece, saying stuff like, not being pushed, I don't like being pushed in the background, you're doing like, you know, too much, you're going over me and stuff like that. Now that transcended to the point where they got evicted, and when the show was even over, we started hearing that they were not talking, and they live in the same house. They've not been talking for months, almost a year. Obviously, with the way we saw their personalities in Big Brother's house, we know that one way or the other, the niece would have tried, probably, maybe, it is possible that she would have tried to fix things, but then the aunt was still holding on to grudges. This is just from assessing their energies in Big Brother's house. Now, this has transcended to the reunion, and, you know, I think, however the conversation went, we started seeing Chinwe infusing herself in that issue, and you know, warning or ordering Chinne to go and fix her relationship with her niece, that she's a wicked woman, she's a terrible person, and all the 9 yards. And here was, you know, Chinne saying, you to go and fix your whatever. I can't even remember the words she used exactly. And then while they were going at each other, you know, Chinne sort of threatened Chinwe that I'm going to like finger your throat. I will put my hand inside your throat. Like, it was somewhat like that. People started laughing. It was crazy. But however, I really hope that they've settled, because it would not be nice to see such a thing on live TV, or even after seeing such a thing that behind the scenes they've not settled.
Get out. Go and reconcile with your niece.
Reconcile with your child first. That is, I will figure your throat to the cream.
I said it before, I'm going to say it again. This reunion is going to be hot. It's been a few years since we saw a reunion. It is a beautiful way to start and usher in a new season. So, of course, you guys expect that as the Gbasgbos is dropping, I'm going to be releasing it in full details. Hopefully, some channels will live stream it on YouTube, on Facebook, and probably Twitch. But either way, I'll see you on the next one, right?